Hello, my parapeeps. Welcome to this episode of Mark's Offramp, where we leave the interstate of the normal and go on the back roads of the paranormal. Glad you could join us for this episode. Today I want to talk about animals. Lots of animals. As I drive the highways and byways of these here United States, got lots of animals that I see. Now, we've got your normal livestock animals off the side of the road, horses, cows, lots of cows. You know, coming from Idaho, state where we have more cows than people, sheep. Every once in a while I get to see bison. I think it'd be cool to have a bison ranch, but that's another story. So animals, as we're driving along the road, we see all kinds of animals. And then you've also got your large woodland creatures that will walk out in front of you, depending on where you are. And those are your deer, elk, antelope, animals like that. So a couple interesting things about animals, and then I got some interesting stories for you. If you've ever driven along and then you suddenly see one animal in a pasture just start doing something weird, really strange, none of the other animals in the pasture are really responding, nothing else is going on, just one animal going weird. I see that mostly with horses. I don't know, maybe that's a normal horse thing. Those of you who know more about horses than I do could probably explain that. But every once in a while, a horse will just wig out for no reason. And the other horses just kind of stand there and watch that one like something's going on. So always wonder if there's something happening there, if that horse is picking up on something, sensing something. And I've got two animal stories to talk about while I was driving. My first one happened just a few weeks ago. I was driving a 2-lane road, and an elk was in the middle of the road, so I just slowed down and let him finish crossing the road. As I pulled up alongside of him, I rolled down my window and said hello, and he bugled at me. I don't know if you've ever been close enough to hear an elk bugle, but it's a pretty awesome experience. I like that. So the second one I'm going to tell you, excuse me, I forgot to turn my phone off. I apologize for that. The second story happened years ago when I lived down in southern Nevada. I lived in Boulder City, just south of Las Vegas, and I was driving down to Searchlight. Now that's, again, a 2-lane road, but it's a very nice road, but wide shoulders on both sides. And as I'm driving down this road, I see a tarantula starting to cross the road. Now that's no big deal. They're indigenous to that region. And I didn't want to run over it. First of all, it didn't do anything to me. And second of all, I'm not a big fan of tarantulas, so I don't need any negative spider energy coming at me. So I thought I'd be cool, and I just kind of drifted. I was driving a minivan at the time, drifted the van over a little bit and went over the top of the tarantula thinking I was doing really cool because I didn't run over it. And I looked in my mirror to see what it was doing, and the turbulence that I caused when I drove over it was causing the tarantula to go rolling and tumbling down the highway. So here I was thinking I was doing a good thing, and then I'm not really sure if I helped or not. And then a thought hit me, how big was that thing? Man, I'm going 65 miles an hour, maybe 70, 65 miles an hour, and I had enough time to drift over and get, how big was that thing? So anyway, and I was not going to go back and look at it because, like I said, it was probably still bitter from me having caused it to roll and tumble down the highway. So, but the animals that I've been seeing lately, and maybe some of you can explain this to me, lately I have been seeing a small shadow type animal, somewhat canine-like, somewhat like a fox, about the size of a fox, usually with a fluffy tail, but it's a black shadow animal that is just about always running off of the road into the field. And it's up in front of me, and when I get there, of course, I don't see anything. So that's my animal story for you tonight. If you have any good animal stories, let us know. Thanks again, my parapeeps. Until next time, be safe.